Quick question. What do Theme.of context, MediaQuery.of context, and the entire provider package have in common? They're all powered by one widget. A widget you use every single day, probably without even knowing its name. It's called InheritedWidget, the secret pipeline that moves data around your Flutter app. In this video, what it is, why Flutter can't live without it, which class makes it work, its most important methods, and exactly what happens under the hood when you call that famous of context. By the end, provider will stop feeling like magic because you'll know the trick. Let's go. Let's start with the pain. Imagine your app knows the user's name at the very top in My App, but the widget that actually displays it, it's buried 5 levels deep. So what do? You pass it. My App hands it to Homepage. Homepage hands it to Body. Body hands it to Profile Card. And Profile Card finally hands it to Username. Congratulations, you've just done prop drilling. It's like passing a note across a classroom. 4 students who don't care about your message have to carry it anyway. And if the note changes shape, you update 4 constructors. Miss one and the compiler yells at you. Now imagine 10 widgets needing that data in 10 different places. This does not scale. Flutter's creators knew it, so they built a way out. So what is an inherited widget? Here's the one-line definition. It's a widget that stores data at one point in the widget tree and lets any widget below it grab that data directly. No parsing, no drilling. Think of it like a Wi-Fi router. You don't run a cable through every room to reach your phone. You plug the router in once, and every device in the house connects straight to it. An inherited widget is a Wi-Fi router for data. Place it high in your tree, and every descendant, one level down or 100, can tune in instantly. And here's the bonus. When the data changes, the widgets listening to it rebuild automatically. Broadcast once, connect anywhere. That is inherited widget. Now, who actually uses this thing? You do. Constantly. Theme.of context? That's an inherited widget handing you your colors. MediaQuery.of context? Inherited widget again, serving screen sizes. Localizations, navigator, focus, even default text style. The Flutter framework is absolutely stuffed with them. And the big one, provider. The most popular state management package in Flutter is, at its heart, an inherited widget wearing a very nice suit. So even if you've never written extends inherited widget in your life, you've been calling one every single day. Learning how it works isn't optional trivia. It's learning the engine under half the Flutter ecosystem. But why does Flutter even need this? 2 reasons. First, in Flutter, data flows in one direction, down the tree. Parents build children. Children don't reach up and grab things. That rule keeps apps predictable. But it's exactly what makes sharing data painful. Second, performance. Flutter's whole job is rebuilding only what changed. So why not just use a global variable? Great question. Because a global is silent. Change it and no widget rebuilds. Your UI goes stale. And globals can't be scoped. You couldn't have a dark theme in one subtree and a light theme in another. Inherited widget solves all of it. Data still flows down, it can be scoped to any subtree, and when it changes, exactly the right widgets rebuild, not one more. Time to meet the class itself. Creating your own is surprisingly small. Step 1, extend inherited widget. Step 2, add your data as final fields. And yes, they must be final. An inherited widget is immutable. It's a snapshot of data, not a box you mutate. Step 3. Pass a child through the constructor. That's the subtree it will serve. Look at this. Class user data extends inherited widget, a final string username, and a constructor taking username and child. That's basically it. No build method to write. The parent class handles that. It just returns the child. Your class is nothing but a data carrying wrapper hugging a subtree. But wait, the compiler is complaining. We're missing one required method. And that method is where the real intelligence lives. Meet update should notify. The bouncer at the club. Here's the situation. Your inherited widget just got rebuilt with fresh data. Flutter now asks a question. Is this change worth announcing? And it hands your method the old widget so you can compare. Return true. The bouncer opens the door and every widget depending on this data gets rebuilt. Return false. Silence. Nobody rebuilds, nothing happens. Why does this matter? Performance. Maybe the widget rebuilt, but username is still Alex. Rebuilding the listeners would be pure waste. So one line, return username not equal oldWidget.username saves you from pointless rebuilds. Tiny method, one boolean, total control over your app's efficiency. Never just return true blindly, unless you enjoy janky frame rates. So the data is sitting up there. How does a widget deep in the tree actually get it? With this beautiful monster. Context.depend on inherited widget of exact type user data. Yeah, nobody wants to type that. Which is why Flutter has a convention. Wrap it in a static method called of static user data of build context, and inside that long call. Now any widget just writes userdata.of context.username. Clean, familiar. It's literally what Theme.of does. But here's the intermediate level secret. There are two ways to read. Depend on subscribes you. Data changes, you rebuild. Like subscribing to a newsletter, every new issue lands on your desk. But get inherited widget of exact type just reads. One look, no subscription, no rebuilds, grabbing one newspaper at the newsstand and walking away. Need the value once, say in a button callback? Get. Need your UI to stay in sync? Depend. Now for my favorite part, the magic trick. When you call off context, how does Flutter find that inherited widget? Instinct says, climb the tree, check the parent, then the grandparent, then 100 levels up. Slow, right? Wrong, because Flutter never climbs. Here's the secret. Every element in the tree carries a hash map, internally called _inheritedWidgets, listing every inherited widget above it. As the tree builds downward, each parent hands this map to its children. So when your widget asks for user data, it's a single hashmap lookup. O of 1, instant. It's speed dial versus running up 100 flights of stairs. And that is why you can call Theme.of context anywhere at any depth in every build method and never worry about the cost. Let's put the whole machine together, the full life cycle, in 4 steps. Step 1. Register. A widget calls of context. Under the hood, depend on does 2 jobs. It returns the data and it registers that widget in the inherited widget's private guest list, called dependents. Step 2. Change. Someone above rebuilds the inherited widget with a new value. Step 3. Check. Flutter calls updateShouldNotify, comparing old and new. Our bouncer says true. Step 4. Notify. Flutter walks that guest list and marks only those widgets for rebuild. Look at what doesn't happen. The widgets in the middle, untouched. Widgets that never subscribed, untouched. Out of 1,000 widgets, exactly the 2 that care get rebuilt. Register, change, check, notify. That's the entire working process, and it's why Inherited Widget is both convenient and fast. Let's build a real one, start to finish, a shopping cart badge. First, the Inherited Widget, cart data with a final int item count, a child, and updateShouldNotify returning item count not equal old widget.item count. Second, the shortcut, static cart data of context wrapping depend on inherited widget of exact type. Third, somewhere deep in the app, a cart badge widget that just says cart data.offContext.item count and paints it on a little red circle. Now, the twist every beginner hits. Inherited widget is immutable. So how do we change the count? You don't mutate it, you replace it. Wrap it in a plain stateful widget parent. When the user taps Add to Cart, the parent calls setState, rebuilds cart data with count +1, updateShouldNotify says true, and the badge, 5 levels away with 0 constructors touched, ticks from 1 to 2. And that stateful widget plus inherited widget combo, that's exactly the pattern Provider automates for you. Let's lock it in. Inherited widget stores data in the tree and shares it with every descendant. You already use it daily through Theme.of and MediaQuery.of. It exists because prop drilling doesn't scale and globals can't trigger rebuilds. You create one by extending inherited widget with final fields, guard performance with updateShouldNotify, and expose it with a static off method. And under the hood, an O of 1 hashmap lookup plus a precise list of dependents, so exactly the right widgets rebuild. Use it directly for simple app-wide values, and when your state gets complex, reach for provider knowing it's this exact widget underneath. If this cleared the fog, smash that like button and I'll see you inside the widget tree.